Hello world, welcome to the channel. I'm SourceCode, and in the previous video I showed you how you could create a WebVR scene in Unity and use Babylon.js to export that to a WebVR application. In most situations you won't use the default controllers. You want to have a model to use, for example a sword or a gun. And today I'm going to show you how we can create a prefab that Babylon understands that we can use as replacement for the default controllers. So let's head over to Unity and have a look how you can do that. So we're here inside my Unity scene, and I created a kind of basic environment using the Polygon Nights bundle from Synthes Studios. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to have a look at it. And what we're going to do, I've set this up as we did in an earlier video with a script on the camera to get it into VR. And what we need to do is add two game objects with prefabs we can use in Babylon. So what I'm going to do first is create an empty object, and I'm going to name this left controller. Now you can name this anything you like, but I prefer to refer to the controllers. So we have the left controller and the right controller. Now these will be the objects, the prefab objects we will use as the controllers. Now I wanted to make this a little bit more interesting because now they're just empty. So I'm going to grab two prefabs from the controllers. So we have a sword. Let's pick this one. Let's do that on the right controller. And let's pick one of the shields. This is an interesting one. Let's pick that on the left controller. So now when we look in the scene, we have a sword and a shield, and we want to hold those in VR. Let's move this to 0, 0, like so. Now we need to tell Babylon.js to use these as the controllers. So what we need to do is switch the layer up here to Babylon prefab. Do everything the same for the other one, Babylon prefab. And now we could use those in a Babylon scene. Now if we go to the camera and we scroll all the way down, we need to enable this setting, enable prefabs. This will remove the default controller models you see when you are in VR and replace them with whatever we specify as prefabs to use. We set these to custom controllers, and by naming them left controller and right controller, we can just use the defaults here. But you can change these if you want to name one sword and the other one's shield. That's also valuable. And now we could export the scene. And then we can switch to VR and have a look at how it works. How they look and if it works. Takes a few seconds. Let's switch over to VR. So I just refreshed the browser here in VR, and now we can go into the scene and we can look around. Now if you look at our hands, we have a shield, but it's backwards, and our sword feels also a bit weird, but we have them here. We can control them, so that's working. But we need to rotate them and just do a bit different. I kind of want to have the shield more like this, which feels a bit that's on my hand. And the sword should be turned down that it feels a bit better. So let's switch back to Unity and fix that. Now back here in Unity, we can see the reason I placed these under another game object. What we can do now is have this game object at 0, 0. That's the pivot that will be used for the controller. But we can change this, and that will be nested below that. So if we would rotate this, for example, no, that's not the right one. Rotate this one that way, and then we're going to do something like this. So I rotated the sword down, and the shield 90 degrees in the other direction, so it feels a bit more that it's on your hand. Now we could even, if we zoom into this, move it a little bit. So the pivot is now in the middle, but I kind of want to have it on the side. So if we move this a bit over there, now the controller feels a bit more that you're holding the shield on this side, and it's kind of wrapped around your arm, like I imagine you would hold this shield. And we don't need to export the entire scene again, so we just export the scene file only. We don't have to compile the scripts. It'll only take a few seconds. Right, and then we switch back to VR and see if we have done it. Back in VR, we have to refresh the browser, wait for it to reload, and then head into VR and see if it works. So now my sword is lying down more, and I actually have the shield in my hand. It feels like I'm holding it and I'm shielding myself. So now all we have to do is find a dragon and see if we can slay it. No, I don't think there's a dragon here. Maybe we can add one in the future. And that's basically all that there is to it. Now, we didn't do any collision detection or tracking to see if we hit something. So next time we're going to have a look at how you can add some code in TypeScript to track if you hit something with the controllers and react to that. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. If you have any comments, leave them down below. And I'm also really curious, if you have built something with WebVR using Unity, please leave a link in the description below and I will have a look at it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again on the next time. Bye bye!